Okay, so, I've known you for years as Blue Thunder, but I like the Rainbow Thunder Heart. So could we start out talking about, today we are going to be talking about the ceremonies that you're doing around the world, and in particular here in Southern California to help balance the weather patterns that are adding to the drought situation in California. But first, let's talk about the name change, the significance of it, and, why you changed the name.
Okay, when I was named Blue Thunder, I was initiated up in Big Bear, California, and blue represents the truth, like Archangel Michael, the sword of truth.
Yeah.
So that would bring the truth through and cut the cords of dysfunction that would help people find the truth and set themselves free about freedom in America through the Native American perspectives. As an Eastern Shoshone, that I'm from the Wind River Indian country in Wyoming.
Okay.
And so through our homelands and our territory up there, the Grand Tetons is known as the 7 colors of light. And so the 7 colors of light represents a consciousness of rainbows in our heart, which is known as the Christ conscious heart.
That's true.
So I get charged in the morning with my 7 chakras with 7 colors, 7 rays of light, known as 7 arrows of light.
Okay.
That charge me like a solar panel. And I'm charged up and I'm in peace underneath the heart of the rose. The rose is a symbol of peace, is a symbol of the Shoshone nations, which are 28 tribes that speak the same linguistic group, or the Indo-Aztecans, which are the Mayas, the Aztecas, and other tribes in North America, that we are the ones that are to represent peace. Mm-hmm. And underneath this heart, Rainbow Thunder Heart, that means I connect with the life force energy, which is a lightning and a thunder, which is electrical current that gives our body life, which is our spirit, is electrical energy, electromagnetic current.
Right.
So these electromagnetic currents, when they go out of balance, which are held together by the earth, wind, fire, and water elements, is what I'm representing, is to balance those energies to heal the droughts, high winds, tornadoes, earthquakes, volcanoes, is to calm the energies so we have a beautiful, pristine environment.
Yes.
And so this is what I'm here to talk about, to bring awareness to humanity about their thoughts, their actions, their words, and everything they've done has affected the electromagnetic energy force fields to shapeshift to be earthquakes, tornadoes, forest fires, droughts, high winds, earthquakes, especially here in California.
And everything is energy. Science has, stated that energy cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. And people seem to think that their negative energy doesn't affect, the environment. Although people are aware that can you close the door right quick? People are aware that, thank you, I'm sorry, that their energy does affect a room. You know how when you walk in a room, you can tell when someone, is hostile, or you can tell if people have been fighting when you walk in a room. They're aware of that energy, but they're not, they don't seem to connect with where does that energy go? It's going somewhere, and so it is collecting in the atmosphere. Is that correct?
Yes, it gets stuck in the room and gets recorded in the chairs.
Mm-hmm. The vibration.
The vibration. It's energy vibrating at high frequencies of colors of light, sounds, tones, and vibrations, which are the frequencies. That gets recorded in electromagnetic energy, crystalline energy, that the particles of the wood, the floor, the tables, the chairs, all gets recorded and vibrates and then replays itself every second.
Wow.
Along with peace and negativity. Now you got negative and positive going against each other, which rips and tears people up to have anger, hatred, jealousy, and resentment, and separation of not working together peacefully.
Okay.
So in the room, when I come in to the high frequency of a rose vibration, and I clear the energy of whatever was said there. I clear it and clean it to zero it out so that negative and positive can now vibrate at the same frequencies, and that's peaceful energy. Now the two energies spin together. That's the Kundalini energy. Mm-hmm. The 7 colors of light, which we know as serpent wisdom, 2 serpents dancing. So we're the serpent nations in America, as Native Americans. In the North America, Central America, and South America, we call it the serpent knowledge.
Right.
The serpent wisdom, like the plume serpent, the rainbow serpent.
Quetzalcoatl, yeah.
Yes, so that's what we understand through the energies of the light. Mm-hmm. But what has happened to humanity, they forgot this wisdom that was shared with them over 500 years ago during the 13 colonies, and then the tribes over there got them to understand this and to consider that, but they went against the laws of nature or the principles of peace, which are that knowledge that we become the stewards of taking care of ourselves, because if we have dysfunctional thoughts of that, then we cause separation and the environment will turn against us, which is happening now.
Exactly. So people, science also says that for every cause, there's an effect. And so as we are, in this drought right now, and it's very alarming because people really need to think about the fact that when there's drought, it affects the plants, and when when the plants dry up and die, there's no food. And so when there's no water, the price of water goes up, then the price of food goes up, and we're potentially looking at famine, like on a massive scale, like nothing, that we've seen before. When you also consider that California, we produce the large majority of the produce for the U.S. So I think it's very important to have people like you doing the work that you're doing, not just here in California, but around the world, to balance it. But I also wanted to point out, when you said that the negative energy, enters the wood, when I went to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., I saw a very strange phenomenon when I was up on the third floor. I saw these people walking through. They had an actual train boxcar, and it was wood. And people were walking through it, and then they'd come out on the other side and they were sick. They'd sit down on these benches. You could see something was really wrong. And I thought, what's going on? And then I went and I walked into the boxcar, and the energy in the boxcar was so sad, and it just overcame me that I couldn't finish the tour of the Holocaust Museum. So I had an actual experience of feeling the anguish and the sadness and the pain of these people that were in this boxcar, herdled together like cattle, and they had to have known that they were being carted off to their death.
So that vibration was in there. Then that vibration that was in there is still vibrating and still replaying is all the atrocities that took place. Now, when a person goes in there, that will transfer into them, and they walk out of that boxcar. They'll be the vibration, and they'll be the sick energy of the negative things.
I had to get out of there.
So the people that go through now will take that home with them, and then that vibration will transfer into their house. All those atrocities will replay over. If there's rape, murder, all that things that happened with all that and pain and suffering and torture, they'll play it out in their family, and they could torture their family. Someone could get raped in their family. They could get beat up. Whatever it was that was taking place in that vibration will replay.
Right.
So
what do people do in a situation like that to clear that energy? I know you said you came in here with the rose incense and you cleared the vibration. So do you recommend that people use the rose incense to clear that?
There's many forms of ways to do that. Rose is a high frequency of all the plant nations. That's the highest frequency that helps clear and clean things.
Yeah, the frequency of love, right?
So the love vibration clears all the energies and zeroes out that energy that's vibrating and replaying in the room. When you come with the thought that is imprinted into the rose essence, the thought is in there that's asking any negative thing with the power of love to transmute and to be gone through my heart's power and energy as Rainbow Thunder Heart, because the heart is saying this is what it's going to be, and I love that darkness with all my heart. I'm not fighting it. I'm not going against it. I'm honoring and respecting it and blessing it to turn it from that to be something else. So it's like taking water and changing it into wine, or wine into water.
So you're transmuting the darkness rather than fighting it.
So yes, I'm blessing it and honoring and respecting it and loving it back into a sacred energy that is comfortable, and now it becomes peaceful, and now that's vibrating. Yeah. So in the environment, it's the same thing out there.
Yeah.
So that's why the people are all hot-tempered and this and that. Well, it's the particles of energy. It's like little particles in the air and the sky. It's like a snowy television screen. Right. And that's the heat of the planet.
So again, very simply, what can people do to dissipate the negative energy?
Is to learn how to use their alchemy energy from their heart, is to transmute something that is into something that could be better.
So through intention?
Through intentions and decrees.
Decrees, okay.
And knowing how energy works is to become educated in this with knowledge that represents traditional ritual knowledges that now becomes science at this point, because it's all been proven through scientific facts and data and information. It's all over the internet. It's written in books.
Right.
It's not it's not given in religion to people, and it's not shared in education.
Right.
It's not in the man-made laws.
No.
And why? Because we knew this. We wouldn't need those laws. We wouldn't need those religions.
Exactly.
And we would not need man-made laws. So we wouldn't need presidents and all of these other senators, representatives, and all them, because they're promoting this fear with a false way of living and being. So right now, this is going to transmute itself, but we want humanity to consider what this represents. Not want. We'd like them to consider.
Right. So on your website, do you have any decrees?
Yes, the decrees are it's all over everywhere.
Okay, well, I know
a decree is an intention.
Right. But do you have any on your website that people can check out?
Yes, they're written in all my messages all through the writings.
Okay, so what's your website?
earthwisdomfoundation.net.
Okay, so check out his website at earthwisdomfoundation.net. Also, my co-host Kim Michaels on Transcendence Toolbox, he has hundreds of decrees and invocations to help bring world peace. He's working with Mother Mary, to help balance the energies on the planet. So that's something very powerful that you can do. But when you mentioned the rose vibration, Blue Thunder, rainbow, say the new name again.
Bhavado is a Shoshone word which means rainbow thunderheart.
Rainbow thunderheart. Okay. I was thinking about the fact that, pretty much in America, if you want to plant roses, they don't have the natural scent anymore. It's been breeded out of them. You literally have to order them. Like if you go somewhere to a nursery and they claim that the scent was breeded out of the roses because people were allergic to them. But I have to kind of suspect that it was kind of insidious because people know that vibration is so high.
It's not that they were allergic. It was whatever was poisonous and toxins in them. When they breathed the roses high frequency, so the poisons and toxins was coming out, and that was making them sick. But they were actually getting healthy because that energy was coming out.
It was a healing crisis.
So that would heal the people. So the forces that be chose to take the energy out so that they wouldn't heal.
Yeah.
And that was done purposely so the people would still be controlled by negative thoughts and emotions and actions and sicknesses and illnesses and diseases that would cause them to be dysfunctional and jump to assumptions and conclusions and strike out at each other poisonously, like fighting, temper, war, all that.
Right.
So when they did that was done purposely so war and fighting would continue.
Of course. So I would encourage people to go online and order some roses that actually have the natural scent, who have not had the scent breeded out of them, because I just thought that's tragic. I can pick up a rose and you smell nothing.
Now remember, if anyone was around the roses and they were negative, that negativeness transferred into it. It's got greed in it because it's sold. And if you put that on, you'll turn greedy, and you can become the thoughts of the people who sold it. Some were angry, upset, pissed off. So if you don't bless that rose and clear it and clean it, then you
so everything we should bless it and clear it and clean
Every last thing.
Okay.
Your clothes, your
All
food.
right. So we're going to continue this discussion with Rainbow Thunderheart. After commercial break, we're talking about how you can clear the negative energy in yourself and in the environment to help balance the weather patterns and particularly the drought in Southern California. You're listening to Divine Love Talk on CRN. I'm your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant, with Bhavado, Blue Thunder, Rainbow Thunderheart.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day, and little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember, Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
Okay, we're back with Bovado, Blue Thunder, Rainbow Thunderheart. We're talking about how you affect the atmosphere and how your energy has this ripple effect, and what you can do to balance that energy inside yourself and in the environment, because it is adversely affecting the weather patterns. And Kim Michaels mentioned on a recent show that it's the energy of greed that is contributing to the drought. And of course, we do know that every day when I look up in the sky, we got a couple of days reprieve with a little bit of rain. They're spraying chemtrails, chemicals, aluminum oxide and barium and strontium, in the atmosphere, and they're literally bursting the clouds before they can form to create rain. So that's having a huge adverse effect around the world, modifying the weather. And then you've got the HAARP technology that is literally sending out microwaves into the atmosphere that's heating up the atmosphere. So you take that, which is a deliberate, concerted effort, to modify and control the weather. And then you've got, 7 billion people on the planet who are totally unconscious about how their thoughts affect the atmosphere. And we have a real recipe for disaster, right?
Yes, all these things are done purposely to get us to understand why it's happening. And in a time of prophecy, it says we would recognize that and would use our heart's power to transmute that all and turn it into beautifulness. Once again.
Do that.
So this is why we're doing these ceremonies here in California.
So what's coming up next? What's the next ceremony?
So the next ceremonies will be in August on the 29th on the blood moon, which is going to be a ceremony that's going to encompass a 50-mile circle across that circle.
Okay.
In other words,
where's it going to be? And
the middle of it is going to be Union Station, where all the trains come in. And then there's going to be 8 points 25 miles out towards those 8 points, which is north, south, east, and west, and the other directions, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest.
All right.
And then we're preparing to do the Big Bear Medicine Wheel ceremony, which will be during September 23rd, a couple of days before, or the dates are still going to be announced, but that's when we're proposing to be. The information will be on my website.
Say that again, the website?
EarthWisdomFoundation.net.
Okay.
And with this wisdom, we're asking all the cultures to come set on those sacred sites with their dances, with their drums and their songs. Drumming will vibrate the energy out of the elements and put it out there so that we can see it. Those who are intuitive or psychic peoples or the seers.
Yeah.
Those are high vibrational peoples that can see, hear the mountains, hear the rivers, hear the animals, birds, all kinds of things. They can hear the energy in the sky.
Right.
Now, there's a lot of people out there, men and women and children, so I'm inviting them to come. And also the red nations in these lands. And I'm asking every one of them to come, the leaders, men and women and children.
If you're concerned about, the drought situation, come out and actively participate and do something positive.
And remember that I cannot come and give you all tobacco and offerings to get you to come, and you know it's so important. And I ask you to please quit bickering and fighting and saying you got to do this and do that. Well, if I don't come and I can't find you, then please come forward anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's your children.
Yes.
And if you want to help your children, then we clean up the environment. We'll clean up the negative things that's replaying in their bodies, that's replaying in the environment. Because what the environment is what our thoughts are.
Yeah.
That's why we keep replaying separation, anger, hatred. Those thoughts cause cancers, viruses, tumors.
Absolutely.
All kinds of illnesses.
And look at how sick our children are. And
we wonder why?
Yeah.
Because of what we're talking about.
But also, so I don't think that there's anything more important for us to discuss or address right now than the poisoning of the air that we breathe. The water that we drink with fluoride and chlorine and God knows what else is being put into them. And then the poisoning of the food, genetically modifying the food with organisms, that are toxic. If we can't come together on something like that, and then now we've got the issue of the forced vaccinations of children and of adults to put more poisons and more toxins into our body. And it seems pretty clear that there's a clear-cut population control agenda that's going on. And so we can either be a part of the solution or a part of the problem. And so I'm saying come out and join, Rainbow Thunderheart and the work that he's doing and support him in trying to clear this energy. But the more of us who are involved, then the more powerful an intention we can set. So it's going to be at Union Station, right?
And 8 other points, 25 miles to the north, south, east, and west, and the other 4 directions.
Okay, we're going into commercial break, so we'll be back with more after commercial break and more information on how you can help balance the weather patterns. This is Dr. Parthenia Grant with Divine Love Talk on CRN.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California. With the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. If you haven't been to Columbo's, you don't know what you're missing. Delicious food. The steaks on this side are fabulous. The seafood so fresh and flavorful. Columbo's family Italian specialties are Southern California legendary, and the meatballs, the best in the West, North, South, and East. Plus service that's friendly but not fawning, and jazz every night, and it's also affordable. That's what makes Columbo special, and they make special easy, whether for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's why when you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's, because it really is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, making special easy every day. Columbo's, Mangia.
For over 75 years, Geico's kept an eye on the future, keeping customers happy with things like 24/7 customer support and emergency roadside service. And to prove it, here's one of our commercials from over 75 years ago.
At Geico, we promise to always find innovative new ways to serve you. In fact, we're so innovative, in 75 years, they'll listen to this old radio commercial and think, wow, they were innovative.
Wow, we are innovative.
Geico, saving people money for over 75 years.
CRN listeners, don't forget What's Cooking in Wine with certified wine educator and master sommelier Michael Jordan, coming your way every Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio. You'll find out about the latest trends in wine, food, and the good lifestyle. And by the way, Michael Jordan can talk to those of you that are really into wine and those that are maybe just discovering wine. The great educator Michael Jordan, What's Cooking on Wine, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific on CRN.
Okay, we're back on Divine Love Talk with more of Bovado, Rainbow Blue Thunder. We're talking about how your energy affects the atmosphere and the drought in California and Washington State, and what we can all do about it. We're not powerless in this situation.
Correct. We are the power to shapeshift all that it is to bring beauty upon the planet, known as the rainbows.
Yeah.
So the rain is in the bows of light.
Oh, okay.
And that means if you understand your heart's energy, you have electrical power to create rain and moisture. It's called precipitation.
Mm-hmm.
The precipitation of love falls down upon all things and rains down in all that it is, in a way. And when we understand this, we can heal up all this energy. We did these ceremonies in Washington to heal the droughts in the past, and a lot of the tribes chose to be unhappy about that, but that was their choice.
Yeah.
They chose to go against the wisdom. And then I mentioned they would suffer the consequences if they didn't continue to work with these ceremonies. But remember, we had all fallen to victimhood energy about who's right and who's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's the energy in the environment that's replaying
that
holds the people in fighting.
Yeah.
There can be no peace around the world with any peacemakers unless they clear the energy in the environment so it'll stop replaying and repeating. We can go to areas, and I say this phrase because of the flag. Because we got peacemakers in this country going to other worlds, ambassadors for peace, there's many of them. They can talk until they're red, white, and blue and story-eyed, and there will be no peace in those countries because it's all about fighting. Mm-hmm. And all about fighting is the vibration that's in there by the weapons of mass destruction that's being promoted by this country and other countries that is promoting greed, materialism through the corporate control that is being recorded in the environment, that is making the earthquakes, tornadoes, fires, and floods and droughts, illnesses and sicknesses, and dis-ease with the people brings on disease.
Right.
And this is to lower the population to control the planet. So if the planet wakes up, then we will control the planet and take our power back. But if the whole population gets wiped out, 1/2 or 3/4, then they can control the world.
Yeah.
This is why this is purposely being done.
Exactly.
Now, this is a controversy. But we ask you out there, all my brothers and sisters, families, and relatives, remember, you are what I am because you're made of the rainbow nations, colors of light. You're made of crystals, earth, wind, and fire and water, prisms of light, called humans, hues of light.
Yeah.
In order to promote beauty and clear yourself, you'll vibrate really peaceful and clearly and clear the energy from you, the anger, hatred, and jealousies. And this is what we call in the Shoshone nations to find the heart of the rose. And our symbol is the rose. Mm-hmm. The thorns on the rose will be dropped from our thoughts and our actions when we clear the DNA of 7 generations from our cells with the degrees, with the purification processes.
Yeah. The violet flame.
The violet flame, so the purple heart.
Yeah.
And the purple heart is of peace, not war and fighting, getting a purple heart to go to war and fight and kill and murder. That is not...
that was kind of twisted, right?
That's a twisted way of thinking you did something really good, because now you imprinted the world with war and fighting that would replay.
Yeah.
So there can be no peace in the areas where there's warring and fighting unless the energy is blessed and cleared like what we just talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So at this time, I'm really asking societies and people in Los Angeles for you to go to work for yourselves. No one's going to save you but yourselves.
Exactly.
I'm not here to save you. I'm not here to save the world. I'm only here to save myself. And I can look at you all, and I could laugh and laugh and laugh because I look at players in the grids out there in the cities, and I can laugh at you because I've been through that, and it's pretty funny when I watch you laughing, murdering, killing, raping, lying, deceiving. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And what's funny about it is I get to watch you all leave and watch you return as children. Or sometimes you might not come back to this planet. You might go elsewhere because there's a way.
Yeah, to a lower vibrating planet, and this planet is already pretty. It's a very treacherous planet, and it's not vibrating at a very high vibration. I couldn't imagine going to a place that's lower than this vibration.
So there's 12 vibrations, 12 dimensions. The first and second dimension is soil and rock. And the soil and the rock is what we're made of. We're created out of the earth's particles. And then we get to have life. That means we're in the third dimension.
Right.
Then we rose out of the first and second and to come into the third. Then to rise into the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, and 11th, and 12. And those are 12 worlds of existence of knowledges. When you become these 12 wisdoms, then you become the one source of energy that communicates with all things for the betterment of all things equally. What's good for everyone else is good for the birds and the animals and trees and rivers and all that. And blessing the plants to grow, for the animals to have their foods, the insects, the microorganisms, the beings in the oceans, the whales, the dolphins, the sharks, all that it is there.
Right.
And they're communicating with us. They have high frequencies of sounds, tones, vibrations, especially the whales and the dolphins.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're being imprinted and hurt because if they get taken out purposely,
they are being deliberately taken out.
So what we can do is to put prayers in, and HAARP and all the towers are low frequencies. We bring high frequencies in. Those towers shift and fall apart and break down. Now they're not going to be able to make sound anymore.
Right.
But what I'm saying is very controversial. So I've been followed by the Men in Black and others, and went through a lot of experiences with them for the last 20 years, and I love them and honor them, and we're asking them to join us.
Yeah.
And to help us, the Illuminatis. And whatever you want to call it, Illuminati, it's the part of the dark side of the light. And the dark is just as sacred as light. So we're to honor the darkness because they teach us what not to do for what to do.
Yeah.
And the light teaches us what to do for not to do because you got peaceful people, so they're angry and pissed off at Monsanto and other groups alike. And they're imprinting the environment and have no idea what they're doing to making earthquakes, tornadoes, and fire and floods. So the positive people who think they're peaceful really are not peaceful because they're messing the environment up with this energy they're putting out there.
But, I have to think about the fact that I've been there, as well, fighting against things. And I think everything is about consciousness and learning better. And if you don't know any better, I think that it's a higher vibration to at least say, I want to do something about it, and to get out and use their voice and to protest. That's better than just sitting around and being apathetic. But the next level of it is understanding that you don't have to submit to the will of an agency or a power that is anti-human, that is anti-love, and that is not in your best interest.
That's the first phase of waking up.
Yeah.
Then you got the second phase is to understand how you're imprinting the environment.
Yes.
Still.
And take responsibility for your thoughts and not being afraid of the people that, like you said, you're shedding light and you're shedding truth and wisdom, and you will be attacked for it.
Everyone is responsible for everything. They get recorded in the environment by their actions. And then that replays.
Yeah.
And think of it, as an analogy. When we were born on this planet, every word and thought we ever said got recorded in the environment and still replaying. And we get peaceful. If we don't clear that energy, it's still vibrating out there. Frequencies are held down, and we can't rise to a peaceful, better way of life. So we do the decrees to clear every negative word and thought and action that we thought was peaceful and not peaceful. We balance them so that they vibrate at the same frequency, like I mentioned earlier. So this is what the task of humanity is considering to do, but those who consider this now stop and become disciplined to do this, because this is what's going to get them through on the planet.
It is a discipline.
If they're not going to choose to do that, they will leave the planet, because the frequencies coming in are saying there's going to be peace and peace only.
Yeah.
So the low frequencies, that means people are warring, fighting, pissed off at Monsanto, pissed off at warring, fighting people. They leave the planet. Even though they're acting peaceful, they really aren't peaceful. That means their organs are shutting down, their legs are swollen, their throats are have
because you're angry and you're in a place of fear, and I know I've gone through that, where I'd look up at the sky and I see the chemtrails and I'm really upset about it. And then I finally got to this place where I said, okay, I just surrendered, to my higher power. And I said, okay, what can really be done about this? And then that's when I got the download that, literally this is bigger than us. And so we have to reach higher. We can't solve this problem at the same level that created the problem.
So like to say, give up the resistance.
Yes.
To resist is futile.
Yes, it is.
Because if you choose not, then you'll knock yourself down. You're going to stop walking around.
Yeah.
Something could happen to you.
Yeah.
So I mentioned this to you all out there, my brothers and sisters. Remember, give up the resistance, because resistance is futile.
Yeah.
And that means the energy is in control. There's a great law of light, the life force energy that we're made of, which is known as God, the creator, the great spirit's energy. All that energy is, all the creation is. So that means this life force being, this energy force, is all that. And now we know that we are made of this energy, so we are known as great spirits, like gods, goddesses.
Embrace our greatness.
Now you can create.
Yeah.
And we were sitting here in the power, made up of all this, to create what? Dysfunction and function. For what reason? To graduate the world for peace, to get out of this third dimension, to graduate into the fifth and higher. Those who choose begin to hear all things, know all things, ask you shall be given, and whatever you think is there. So if you need a house, you need a home, everything has been created on the planet. The funds, finances, money, homes, vehicles. As long as you bless those, that you get that, someone else gets it too, so no one gets left out.
Right.
And this is why we would share all things. And it was said if we thought we owned the house and owned the land, we told the white nations when they came here and other nations alike, we don't own the earth. We can never own the earth, because if we did, we'd turn against each other. And now we think we own it. We got property. You got neighbors next door fighting over too much noise. You're doing this. You're doing that. This is my property. I'm going to call the police. Well, guess what? You get to have more fights and wars. You get to go to court. Who wins? No one wins.
Yeah.
Even the ones who win lose.
Yeah.
Because now you got energy and environment, and now you got droughts.
And hostility, right?
So do you guys want to heal the droughts out there, all of you? Guys, gals, children, men, women? If you are ready and you really want to do this, and I ask you to go to work for yourselves, I would like you to talk to the religious groups to get them to come pray with us. I'd like you to talk to the Tibetans, the Hindu groups, the women's groups, the children's groups, the dance groups, the drumming groups, the crystal bowl groups, the harp groups, all these people who have these stringed instruments and vibrational sounds. We are sound healers.
Yeah.
And when you come to these circles,
sound and vibration.
You will clear this energy here. It's not going to be me who's going to do it. I'm calling you to the circle of life. And everything is based on what we know, and it was said that we would share this with you all as Native Americans in these lands, those of us who still remember.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean all the Native Americans remember.
Right.
But it's in their cells, it's in their DNA. But my message is we clear this up in the environment, then people start to remember, because we clear all the energy that's keeping them dysfunctional, known as zombieism, walking around on the street. Everyone's scared to look at each other.
Exactly.
And that's the fear.
Yeah.
That's in the environment.
Yeah, that's the energy that has to be cleared, is the fear and the divisiveness, and them versus us, versus, okay, we are divine beings and we are powerful, and so we need to create a new dream for the planet, instead of this nightmare nightmare, a continuation of this nightmare. So we can create paradise.
The analogy is there is no them and there is no us. There's only we, because them out there is us. And if we're pointing fingers at them, it's them doing it. Well, that's us because they are made of who you are, and now we're still bringing separation.
Yeah.
So these are the messages.
And when you point one finger, you got 3 fingers pointing back at yourself.
So the tribes, when they talk, the Native Americans still remember, they close their hand and their thumb is pointing up. Now they're always talking like this, pointing their hand towards you, but their thumb's up. Now they're not pointing any fingers anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, because there's energy coming out of the finger. And if they're saying this, then it's like a gun.
Yes, it is.
Energy goes out the finger and hits you.
It sure is.
And if they're pointing fingers at you, then that can make you ill and sick.
Of course.
Because that's energy.
Yes.
And this can be proven.
And the intention is negative.
Because they've taken pictures with infrared cameras and other forms of cameras they got now. And they did experience, and if I point my finger like that, they'll see energy shoot out of my finger and hit that person. Whatever thought's in that hits them and could knock them down and make them sick and ill.
Absolutely.
These are remote viewers. These are some of the remote viewers who are hired as assassins.
Yeah.
They stare at goats. They stared at the goats in the movie.
Yeah, I saw
and
that
the goats
movie.
died.
Yeah.
Well, think what that could do if we throw thoughts and other things at each other. We're actually killing each other and don't even know it.
I agree, and that's why, the discipline of doing the decrees and the invocations, again, you can go to Transcendence Toolbox, and there are hundreds of them on there for free. You can go to Blue Thunder's website, which is earthwisdomfoundation.net, and share in, start participating in empowering yourself and empowering the planet by sending out, the love vibration, the white light, the violet flame to transmute, all of the negative energy. And then you can be a positive force for change on the planet and raising the consciousness.
So all this rain that's been coming in since I've been here since last January and before has cleared the energy to enhance the water and rains to come back in. And then once we bring it in, people go right back to putting the thought back in after we clear it out. Then we got to come back in and clear it and clean it again, get some more rain.
Yeah.
Well, now we're working to get the springs activated. But in order to do that, we have to get humanity educated to the process. Otherwise, the springs aren't going to come in and the snows aren't going to come in.
Right.
We're working on this to get this done before winter gets here.
Right.
So when winter comes, we got enough snow, the springs will activate, but it's going to be us who does it with the changing of thoughts and emotions and actions to get people educated to remember what this means. If they're not going to become that, then the energy of the environment is going to shake them off the planet.
Yeah. Well, and I think people need to look at it the way that, like most people look at a diet like, oh, I just want to lose some weight so I can go to a wedding or whatever. But if you don't look at it as a lifestyle change, you're like a yo-yo. You're going back and forth. And I think you're saying the same thing about what we're doing with the environment. Yes. We can do these ceremonies, but if we don't change the thought patterns, that we're sending out there and make that a way of life, then it becomes a vicious circle.
The weight is energy that protects us. It's emotional energy. If we're very emotional, we have to eat in order to protect ourselves from all the energy to feel better. Mm-hmm. So if we clear these emotions out of ourselves, the weight automatically falls off.
That's
you don't
true.
have to have a diet. All you got to do is change your thinking pattern.
Absolutely.
So the weight falls off.
I agree.
And then if you go out and take all these other drugs and all this and that causes more poisons and toxins and people getting sick from taking all of that.
Exactly. So we've got to change the pattern. So we'll be back with more after commercial break, wrapping this up with Rainbow Thunderheart on how you can positively affect your life and your environment.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Financially successful couples do three things. Investment advisor David Bach.
1, fund a retirement account. 2, create a security account. And 3, create what I call a dream account. And that dream account's for all the things that you want to do as a couple between now and retirement.
Like nice trips or a down payment on a second home. How much to put in each? Bach says 10% of your earnings go in a retirement fund. And for that rainy day security account?
We like to see couples have at least 6 months of expenses set aside. And by the time you're in your 50s, even more is better. A year would be fantastic. And then there's more than just that. Get a will done.
And your power of attorney, health, and financial documents. Consider a living trust. Make sure all your accounts are tied to it. Once that's done, decide how much to put in that dream bank each month. And don't hesitate to mutually enjoy it. David Bach's book is Smart Couples Finish Rich. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
Okay, we're back, wrapping this up on Divine Love Talk with Bavado, Rainbow Thunderheart, formerly known as Blue Thunder. So we want to summarize what the problem is the negative energy and vibrational patterns that we're sending out, into the atmosphere, as individuals, but also, the chemtrails and the HAARP technology is heating up the atmosphere. And we've got, major corporations that are involved in doing that, that are in alignment with our government. And they have a population control agenda that, that's their agenda, but it doesn't have to be our future. We are in control of that. So the things that we can do are every day we can monitor our thoughts and make sure that we're focusing on the solution and sending out love and light. We can use decrees and invocations. I pointed out you can go to TranscendenceToolbox.com, EarthWisdom Foundation.net to get some of those decrees and start using them. Now, Bavado, what do you want to leave the audience with in terms of thoughts on?
Well, I'd like them to check out my website, get in touch with me, either email me, call me, and talk to all nations and cultures to join us in this circle. And there's protocols to follow by getting the sacred sites to heal those sacred sites. There's a lot of information about that. And that these sacred sites promote life, that activate the springs and the rains and the waters, calm the earthquakes, tornadoes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so through these things, this is what we're about. And this is why at Earth Wisdom Foundation is a nonprofit. Right now we're getting ready to do the Equator Medicine Wheel Ceremony. That's going to be around the Earth. And we need 3.5 million plus 20 million to get this done, to promote festivals on love and light. And I know there's people out there that 3.5 million, 20 million is nothing. If you really want to help your children and you really want something to do, then I suggest you donate these funds and finances to groups like mine and others. What's good for me is good for the others out there too. So we will love you, and we want you to help us, because it's you who are in the greed in the corporations, and you're not very happy there. Remember, if you want to choose to change, we'll help you find peace and love, and you still have more enough funds and finances to share and still get by. Mm-hmm. And we'd like you to help right now, because we're working on the droughts all the way from Oregon down through Mexico and down into South America and other countries. We're taking this wisdom worldwide.
Yeah.
Nothing will stop us. But it will be much easier if you would help us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things happening.
Well, and, people need to understand that the more people who come together and do these decrees and do these ceremonies and the medicine wheels and the rain dances, the more powerful the vibration is that's going out into the atmosphere, and the more powerful the intention is. Yesterday you did a really beautiful ceremony at, what was it,
Full Circle?
Oh, Full Circle in Venice. So I want to thank you for joining us, and it's always a pleasure to have you here, and I really want to encourage the audience to think about your thoughts and send out positive vibrations, because you are a powerful being.
We like them to help, and how they can help is put thoughts in that those funds and finances will come, so we can educate California and the other states and worldwide.
All
so
right.
Please put those thoughts in that will happen.
You're listening to Divine Love Talk on CRN. I'm your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant. Thank you for joining us. All right.
Are you tired of hearing your